Hey, Rob here, you can see. I thought I would make a video following up on a bit of engagement around me asking people to for honest explanations as to why they were not willing to go vegan. Um, I start off by clarifying why I am vegan. I don't want to contribute to industries that exploit animals when I don't need to. Um, and I feel better for not doing that. Uh, my conscience feels clearer. I feel lighter. Energy is generally better. And yeah, mainly I know I'm not paying for animals to suffer. I can't. I wouldn't trust someone to park my car. I wouldn't trust them to raise and kill an animal for me, especially when I know that they are doing it like dickheads. Um, and not because they are dickheads, just because this is just the reality of the rapid expansion of human population and their demand for meat, eggs, and dairy. This is just what happens when everyone's like, yeah, give us them fucking meat, give us the eggs and dairy. They're like, oh shit, more and more, more and more. And as that happens, the animal's rights and consideration has gone down and down. And so at this point in history, it's like, oh, well, fucking pump the brakes. Um, do we really need all of this? And turns out we don't need any of it, really. For most people, we can be completely thriving, completely plant based. And being an example of such and uh, someone who stands behind that and encourages that, I strongly resonate with. And yeah, and that win win being like feeling good, um, physically, and the animals not suffering. Um, yeah, it's a win win that I would like to offer people, like get on board, you know. Um, I do think that there's something to the energy cycles or the energy transference of like um, if you ingest like the body or the excretions of an animal that suffered, then like that's not good vibes for you. Surely, like even if you're an atheist, like no, you don't want that, or you don't want to be responsible, even if it's not like a spiritual energy transference, like the knowing and like the guilt is still there. Yeah, and look, I was too, still am to a point, conditioned not to care about other animals, not to care about chickens or fish or cows or pigs, because the 5-year old me that might have been like, no, don't hurt them, was told, like, no, we have to eat them, fucking shut up and eat it. And then so that empathy was pushed down for like a couple of decades. And then when people were like, maybe we should care about them, it's like, nah, shut the fuck up. And it was like all this, don't want to hear it. So yeah, so that's my perspective. That's me. That's why I feel better doing it. Some people have said that they found it difficult with cravings, or it's difficult with accessibility, or they have health concerns where they believe that, or they've been told that they require animal products, which could be true. Um, but in terms of accessibility and affordability, I do think it's more accessible and affordable than most people believe. Like, I mean, like lentils, beans, rice, cereals, pumpkin, broccoli, um, uh, even mushrooms, plant-based milks, all pretty affordable, and they will get you through. So if there's a will, there's a way. If you don't want to contribute to animal suffering, then yeah, those are some of the cheapest foods out there. Um, Depending on places and stuff. If you start talking about vegan meats and vegan cheeses and stuff, yeah, that gets expensive. Um, and not necessarily healthy either. Um, and even there's ethical concerns about vegan foods. It's true, like palm oil or cashews, um, um, or like almonds. I don't like almond milk because they use honeybees in the production, um, and honeybees are a great threat to native bees due to outcompeting native bees and spreading disease to them. And Australia has more than 1,500 types of native bees. Those are the ones that we need for pollination, and honeybees are not helping with that. Just so you know. But yeah. Some people were just like apathetic, like, haha, bacon, I don't care. It just tastes good. But the question for them is like, is our taste, is our sensory experience worth um, another creature's suffering? Um, Not really, is it? Like, it might feel good to punch a dog, might, might, but it's not really fair. It's like, oh, that was satisfying, the power, but you yeah. So, um, yeah, so it's like that trade-off. Like, oh, I enjoyed because it's not the nutrition we need. We know we can get the nutrition elsewhere. So it becomes down to this the taste, the experience. It's kind of like um, selfish, maybe. Um, yeah, just by perspective. If you're informed about how accessible the alternatives are, which is becoming more and more apparent, and that information about such is there. So now we're at a point, I think, about the issue, and this is why I advocate for vegan default. So if you do want to make exceptions to veganism, if you want to like generally eat plant based, and then on a special occasion, or if I feel like I need to have some animal products, um, then you want to do so being informed and conscious. So you might be informed of where it came from. Like, you might be informed that free range is bullshit, um, and that free range chickens are factory farm chickens and their lives suck because of all the ammonia on the ground and the unnatural rates of growth and the debeaking and the tight quarters and the way their brains and social constructs don't match with those environments and the lack of sunlight. Yeah, it sucks. Like, so you might be like, okay, instead of just like, oh, free range is fine, you look into what it means. Um, and then yeah, and then you might be like, yeah, I don't care about fish. Like, you might watch Seaspiracy and realize the impacts of fishing on the earth and on the oceans, and then you'd be a bit more informed about whether you want to eat fish or not. But you still might, especially if you catch it yourself, kill it yourself, you're engaged with the process, you're not putting your trust in anybody else to do the dirty work for you. Um, so, yeah. Yeah. And then, yeah, if you're at the point where you're like, bacon, I don't give a fuck, like, pigs suffer. And they're proven to be smarter and about as empathetic as dogs. So if you like the taste of bacon or pork, and you think eating that is more important than putting them through what is like 99, 90, more than 95% uh, like a factory farmed, miserable, cold cages the mothers can't turn around. Like, it is atrocious. If you're okay with that, then that's something to be concerned about. And that's where I definitely, yeah, you're not doing yourself any favors. Anyway, I really wanted to keep this brief, but there's just a lot to cover, and I do have strong opinions about it. So, if you did make it this far, thank you for engaging. Yeah. If you are resonating with the way I'm presenting this message, do support it, potentially even share it. I'm going to make more like specific videos probably down the track, plus a lot of music stuff. Yeah. Support is super appreciated. I do feel like I can articulate this pretty well as a blessing to my parents' hard work and education and just privilege that I have that I would like to extend to a more peaceful world. A more peaceful world. Peaceful vision. Let it expand.